Hello everyone, welcome to the Sports Mechanics channel. It's Nicholas and today I am presenting this new Hyundai Tucson. 2021 in the hybrid version. We will as usual do a full tour of the car, take a little road trip and really see what it gives. Let's go. We start with the exterior. Well, we start with the front, and first thing that really defines this car is these little aids here integrated into the grille. So this is a world first to have integrated LED lights into a grille, and when they are off it gives a mirror effect. So here they are on and here they are off, and it really gives the effect of extending this grille here when the car is posed like this. And once you start the engine, well, we have these LEDs here that light up, and I find it really beautiful. And in fact, thanks to this, we will really have a car that stands out from the others, and it gives a character all its own. There is really a nice evolution that has been made since the old Tucson compared to the new one. So the whole Hyundai range is being renewed and gives a much younger style, and this one is good. It's really the case for the grille. We really have this shape here that is repeated a bit everywhere on this front grille, with the big Hyundai logo here with a small camera integrated discreetly at this place. Then we will have here this second part, so with a nice line here which apparently takes up a little bit this chrome mirror side that we will find that will make the tour, then to ventilate. And there are the proximity sensors here for driving aids and especially the adaptive cruise control. Then another blade is here apart, a little harder, the same of another color that really gives a front that is very nice and really frankly super aggressive. When we go up a little bit, well, we will see this hood with its lines, so that start from here and that ends on the hood. The same on this one that integrates, that start each time from the bottom of the grille is really, it gives a side is good. Also the same, very aggressive and very modern to this car under the hood. Then we will have several engines available that will go from gasoline to diesel to hybrid up to the rechargeable hybrid. We will have the choice either 136 horsepower, either 150 or 230 as we have today on this hybrid version.
Each time there will be 1.6-liter engines with 48 micro-hybridizations, a type of advanced start-stop system that functions well.
Today we are testing the hybrid version, which I believe is the best compromise. The plug-in hybrid will arrive later. And on this vehicle, we will have a 52-liter tank. And a good thing is the turn signals are here with a reminder on the mirror, and that the LEDs here do not turn off when we activate the turn signals. On the side, we will have, like at the front, really futuristic lines and ultra-tight lines. So we will have here what really reminds the sport utility vehicle side a little bit 4x4 with plastic arches and lines. As we can see, lines go here and there, then down. This line that stops there, that ends here, in the shape of a triangle. Another one that starts here, another one that crosses here, the lines from here, then the same from the door, the length that really starts from the back that almost goes around the car, with a small interruption here, and it starts again at this point on a bulge. We really have something atypical, and that's good because it really gives a lot of character to this car. And so we have all these lines here cut with a cutter, and we have a small line here which is a little bit curved and which ends on, and this claw here with the same, again, very tense lines inside as a pattern. We have this rod here that integrates superbly well into the mirror with the turn signal repeater here, and which will go up to the top. We also have the roof bars on this model painted in black, which I find really very pretty. The door pillars are painted black, which looks very nice. The small fridge handles, with here something to lock the vehicle by pressing the small button. At the wheel level, we have today the 19-inch rims, which are still quite nice. So the 19 inches is nice, but it makes the car a little less comfortable. And we can choose from 17 to 19 inches. In terms of the size of this new Tucson, the vehicle will be 4.50 meters long, 1.86 meters wide, 1.65 meters high. Here. This hybrid version weighs approximately 1,654 pounds. On the rear part, so here, we will have our hatch to put gasoline, so unleaded on this hybrid version. And the back, like the front and the sides, well, always super tense lines. Its clear competitor is the Peugeot 3008, which really has a well-asserted style. And well, it's even superior to that. Here we really have all the characters that assert themselves from the beginning to the end of the car. So we have this big spoiler here that finishes well, this beautiful sport utility vehicle here with a fairly inclined window, the big Hyundai logo at this place, and what we also notice is the light signature that we find on many premium cars, like the Audis, the Porsches, and that reminds exactly the high end with a light strip that really goes from one end to the other of the car. We will find here these two huge fangs, so they are quite large to the size of a hand, which will be the brakes, and the indicators, they will be located just here. So this will really be for night visibility. When we brake, it will be these two here that will light up stronger. We will find behind the inscriptions. So the Hyundai Tucson hybrid. Here it is noted to remind it at the back otherwise. Reversing camera here too. We will have on the sides under the mirrors here 2 cameras also on each side, and you will see inside. Little surprise, these cameras do something more plastic, bumper at this place, there and here, and the same with integrated radars and the exhaust here with a double outlet at this place. So we set the indicators here, and with the reversing lights we will also have a beep beep to warn people outside when you back up. That's good for safety. We also have a trunk with automatic opening, and the trunk you will have 620 liters of loading, inside up to 1800 liters, the trunk. So you have a flat floor from the loading threshold. Here you can have either more storage space underneath, and there, for example, we have a large umbrella with the puncture repair kit with a small compressor, and others we will still have a little bit of space at the bottom, and we can have the floor that goes on 2 levels at this place inside the trunk. So I have here small staples to attach nets, there. I have something to pull and fold the seats very easily on both sides. So this part that folds the 2 right seats and this part that folds the left one, and in the end there is really room at the back. We will have 3 real seats, and we really access it very easily. We do not fall into the car. We do not have to climb once the door closed. And well, frankly, we already fall on this very beautiful upholstery here in leather today, with this white cream side, a little gray, that I find really very, very pretty. So first thing is that we have the impression of being in a sofa, so I do not know if you see my position. I am well back, and that makes me immediately enjoy this large panoramic roof. I can put like this and look at the sky. Frankly, if you love watching the clouds, then there you are served. Well, this seat is well inclined, but beware, we can see it up to very straight like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions, the rear seat to 10 positions. Have you ever seen that? You on a car? I have rarely seen that in a hub. Often it's 1 or 2 good. The bench here is huge, and I am super happy because it really comes up to behind my knees, and that's great to be able to rest the legs well under the seat in front. I have room for my feet and in the end, so I am 1.80 meters. The seat is adjusted for me. Look, I still have quite a bit of space. And yet I lean it a little bit back, this one. So at this level, I will really be good on the side. I have a small curtain here, so you have to be quite precise. It's not necessarily the most practical to put, but in any case, it is there for the summer. It is handy if you do not want to be in the sun or take a little nap. We will be well behind at this place. There, I have a small LED just here and a handle that I can hold there. We have beautiful finishes, frankly, finish level there on this car. And I really do not have much to say on level investment of the designer. The guy gave himself what? Look, we have a different material here, another here, a wand, one here to him, a little bit black lacquered. We return on plastic of the fabric of the white with a kind of foamed plastic, another plastic, the handle of the black lacquered at this place there. We have the window here, what? To have the heated seat. So for the 2 seats on 2 positions, and then a little bit of leather and a big cup holder at this place there. We can put a small bottle, 50 centiliters, frankly. What more to ask for on this new Texan? I think it's one of the SUVs of this range there who really made the most efforts on this car at the back. So we have access to the leather seats of the more plastic part with nets to store what you want. And so quite extensible nets, we can store quite a few things, air conditioning, prisoner.
so we can adjust the temperature at the back. We have a small air outlet here, a little lower. We will have two USB ports to recharge what you want, and first thing. So I had never seen that before. Here I have a small button, what to advance or back, and well, the seat that is at this place there. So that if I want to lower it, well, I can lower it. So that can allow to do it when I am driver, or if I am at the back, and well, to be able to advance or back the seat of the person in front. So we advance, we back it, and we can
tilt it in the middle here at the central corridor with two cup holders. So all in leather, like the upholstery, well placed, quite high. And in the end, we are really very, very well installed. At the back of this vehicle, and as I said, we can have 10 positions of inclination. So I like to be back like this, especially when I am a passenger at the back of a vehicle, the middle place. And while the middle place is frankly immediately very comfortable. Same, we have room here, the backrest, so it's the corridor. It's not necessarily the softest. We can still do a lot of trips with it, and we have a beautiful view, especially this cabin, which is super modern and same. So the all opening then, and look here, I put as straight as possible. I still have all this to the glass roof. It leaves me really a lot of room. And same here, I am super well. I have a great visibility, and here I don't feel really cramped in something closed. There is brightness coming in from everywhere. And in addition, and yet we have the tinted windows at the back. This place so in the end, really not bad. We will have to go get the belt here at the top, so which will be standing to store it, put it back in its slot, clip it like this, and it's done. We reposition it where we will of course have ISOFIX attachments on the two rear seats here. At the top, on these seats, the advantage, small perforated leather, so for the summer it's even less hot than a totally full leather. Beautiful decorations made here. Thanks to these little points that give something really very worked. Bravo Hyundai on this. Frankly, congratulations, you did a good job.
Let's move to the front of the vehicle. When I get in, it's super easy and my seat moves forward when I start the car. So every time you turn off the ignition or open the door, look at my seat, it gets in the right position and comes back every time I close the door to put me in the driving position that I prefer. That's handy for getting in and out of the vehicle when we get here, frankly. Wow. Same. So with this white interior, I love it when it's bright. I like it. It really gives a good mood and I find it very pleasant. So when we get in, we really feel like we're in a car, a bit American. So with here, there, the whole central tunnel, which is quite high with this armrest. Same, which is here, so we can't adjust. And the other side, same, we have quite a bit of space to rest the elbows. And that's really something very nice. We come across this steering wheel here with 4 branches. So with the middle here, which is empty and a good grip. So a steering wheel quite thick, not too thin, with a leather that is quite pleasant to the touch. A little foamy on the inside. So it's a good feeling when we have it in hand. So we're going to start on the left and we're going to turn like that. So on the left, same. So as in the back, different materials used. So foamy plastics, very good plastics, kind of plastic a little bit with a skin. We then return with small rods here, aluminum style, black on the side here. We have the seat memory, very nice to have that there. Then we go back on a small touch of fabric. So same, that goes around here, the cabin, just like in fact everything we're going to see on this car, everything goes around and it's lines that are really very appreciable. Then we return to this foamy plastic cream color, white gray. I don't know exactly describe the color, so that we will find on all the lower part here. So that will go all the way around at this place. Then the handle aluminum style, then we return on a handle here. So in lacquer, black lacquer, with the mirror adjustments, car lock, the windows, and the handle to close the door. Then we go back on a black leather area, then the bottom in plastic with empty pockets and put back here a bottle. We will have the Krell speakers on this version with a sound that is really very nice. I didn't know this brand at all, and in the end, I'm not disappointed at all. Then a little further on the left, we will have the adjustment of the height of the headlights to cover the trunk at this place and deactivate or reactivate the SP.
We will then have this screen here, so super atypical without a cap. a screen of 10.25 inches that we will find here, also a screen of 10.25 inches. So we will have all the information behind the wheel. So we look through the wheel here with this screen that we can customize with several types of meters. So on the left, we can see the kilometers per hour, and on the right, what's happening at the accelerator pedal level with the charge, eco mode, etc. We can customize thanks to this screen here. So we will go in the menus here, vehicle, and we can customize at that time thanks to the dashboard. We will choose the theme. We will have either according to the driving modes. So we have two modes on this car that we will see right here. We have the classic A, B, or 100, and the cube mode, which is quite nice and very different from everything else done on the meter. Then behind we will have the switches. So with the automatic headlights that will adjust to the left, the windshield wipers to the right, but of course we will also have the automatic windshield wipers. Just behind we will have the paddles. Ah yes, I have to tell you something. If I put my blinker to the left or to the right, well, in the screen that appears here, we will see thanks to the cameras that are under the mirrors, so I don't know how they did that to have no distortion. The camera that gives the view. 360 will give a view on the back on your blind spot, and that's really something ultra useful. So it's gadget, but it's really good since we still have the blind spot warning in the mirrors, but having that in addition is a pledge of additional safety. And in front of the steering wheel on the left side, we will have the voice command. Personally, voice command, I don't know about you, but I never use the modes to have the modes on the screen behind. The sound of the volume and what to change from radio to what to pick up the phone, and a favorite key that you can customize on the right. That's what interests me the most. A small scrolling menu to change the indications behind the dashboard, and the cruise control. We have a regulator, speed limiter, we set the speed and we can choose. Also on the left, the menus that we want at the bottom of the screen, we have a small button here with a steering wheel and two lines on the sides. That's for level 2 assistance. The car will basically take control. Of course, you will need to keep your hands on the wheel, but the car will stay within the lines and follow the vehicle in front of you at the speed you have asked for. It will slow down if necessary, and it will do almost everything, and it works very, very well. In addition, we have the automatic cruise control that adapts to the speed of the signs, so the same by activating here the steering wheel. As soon as it will be green on the dashboard with the lines, it will indicate auto. It will give you a little beep, so we will see that during the drive. And then we can adjust the distance we want from the vehicles in front of us. That's it for the steering wheel. Then we move on to this place here. So we have this large 18-25-inch touchscreen as we have behind. So I suppose it's the same with a very, very good definition. We will not see the pixels on it at all. We have a home button, which will take you to the hybrid system to tell you when the engine is running, when it's batteries, etc. The navigation, the map phone, we can have the phone projection, the voice memos, it's quite huge. The air conditioning, the valet mode. So you'll have to activate the blue link mode, a silent mode. So for noise packets, the blue link, which will allow you to access the car's data from your phone, and then the settings where you can adjust the settings, vehicle settings, voice recognition, general display, etc. So all this will be at this location. We will then have here a whole sensitive pad on this hard part. Shortcuts, rather than going to touch here. So with maps, navigation, a favorite button. To change the music, the radio, the media, and the car settings underneath, we will have the air conditioning part. So we have Bison for the front. Each will choose on his side. Then we have a small button. So I find this great. Driver only. It means that it will be only for the person who will drive. You can have your settings at this location. Then of course we will have everything that is fogging, what to turn off the air conditioning speeds, and others. So there is also another mode here. It's called diffuse. Well, it will diffuse the air in a different way than just the vents, and it will be a little more pleasant in the cabin. Underneath, we have a large part here to put your phone or lots of other things with something to connect the USB cable here. So we will have two USB ports here. So a USB port to connect the Android Auto or the Apple CarPlay, and a USB port for charging. We will have an induction charger and a 12-volt socket. So a 180W cigarette lighter type at this location. And here we really do have ample space here. Then slightly higher, we ascend. Seat ventilation, heated seat, 3 positions each. The little touch of a heated steering wheel, that's what I love. It's winter right now. My favorite car feature is the heated steering wheel, a downhill assist. So it will limit your speed if you do a little bit of off-roading. The parking beeps. The cameras here that we could activate with a 360 view thanks to the cameras all around the vehicle and to the right, heated and ventilated seat for the person on the right. Going up, we have the drive modes, so we will have 2 driving modes. On this car, the eco mode and the sport mode. So the gear selector, so we have either the parking mode, the button here, the air mode to back up, the N mode and the D mode. For drive, we won't have a B mode. On this car, I find it a little bit of a shame for a hybrid. Then 2 big cup holders right here and underneath the parking brake here. So we pull to activate it, we push down to deactivate it, and the auto hold that allows you to release the brake when you are stopped at a light. The car will remain parked until you have accelerated, then a big storage here. So where there is really quite a lot of space, we can put at least 4 50 centiliter bottles. Standing this way, you haven't talked about the seats yet. The super comfortable seats, we are very well maintained. So we have a nice rise here from the padding on the side. So frankly, a good support, the headrest here, then which is pleasant that we can adjust in height. The same on many small positions, the screen are really very close. And so we will have the settings on the left side at the bottom of the seat. So go up and we can do everything at this place and we can memorize. So here, so we have a ventilated and heated seat. Too bad it's not there. My sense would have been an even bigger little plus, and it will be neither an additional premium touch. Well, there is nothing left but to take a tour and see what this new hybrid Tucson gives us. Then, we are going to take a little tour with this Tucson. We will see what it gives with this hybrid mode, how it drives, what is its behavior, if it's comfortable or not. Let's go. So foot on the brake engine, start here the little Hyundai. Welcome cursed car, ready for driving. So it announces you since there is no noise. We did not hear any engine start since it's a hybrid. Is there? And the advantage is the comfort of the hybrid is that there is no sound. It can run in full electric also. So foot on the brake drive Saturday that I am in drive, that I can drive, I can deactivate the handbrake here. If I activated it manually, or else it can also deactivate automatically. And there I go on the electric. So I have a small indication E here, so which indicates EV in green when the vehicle drives in electric. And there you go. We only drive on electric motors, so I can have the information. So when I do here the hybrid mode, and I have the information that is displayed here. So the battery, the remaining percentage. So the battery, I know in 2 places, either here in this menu or here at the bottom of the meter. So under the tachometer, which gives me a level, but at no time do I have a mileage displayed to know, or if I can do so many or so many kilometers in electric. On the left, I have the fuel gauge, which will give me 80% of the tank, and it indicates 602 kilometers so far. Well, there you have the average that I did 6.1 liters in real, having reset a little earlier there. It's because, so I was turning, etc. I was between 5.5 and 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers. So there, for example, the engine has started again. And I saw no difference, and at low speed, and it will be really very comfortable and still well insulated. In any case, we do not hear at all the engine every time I release accelerator pedal. That still remains a lot of battery, or that I brake. And we see here that it's the wheels that recharge. Thanks, the wheels drive the engine recharges the batteries, and at the stop, of course, silence, I restart in electric, and there you go, the engine restarts. It's then at the level of the pedal, or rather it's imperceptible, we can just hear it if we don't have music and nothing at all. And we really want to pay very close attention to the turn signal. So there, I don't know if you see it there, that's the little surprise of the shaft. When I put my left turn signal in the left circle here, I'm going to have what I'm supposed to see here, but a little more in the blind spot. Look, there we see the car passing, and that's really excellent. If I put my right turn signal, and it's the right contour, that will display that. And so the information that is in its rounds, and
useful to me all the time. It's not necessarily very useful, but they're at the level of the direction. We have a direction that is well assisted, which is not too light. We know roughly. My name is the car. There is a small neutral zone we hear, but otherwise in a direction that is still quite nice. It's pleasant to drive. So in town, there we are at 50 kilometers an hour. So the battery was a little weak, so it rolls with the thermal engine, but we can roll even up to 80-89 in full electric also. So there I am on eco mode. There will be two modes on this car, either eco mode or sport mode. So every time I release,
There, back to electric. And when I accelerate again, it's the electric mode that takes over. If you don't have a heavy foot and you really have a smooth and flexible driving style, then you can stay in electric mode, for example. So I accelerate, I'm still at 60 in electric, and listen. We really have good soundproofing. Very little rolling noise. There I'm getting to 70 kilometers per hour, still in electric. And the same, it's super comfortable in full electric. The car is good, it's the Dodane. The suspension filters very well. It's very comfortable. It's really very flexible. And yet there, and today we have 19-inch rims, and it could be even more comfortable if you opt for 17 or 18-inch rims. So there, the car handles itself concretely. You have to let it do. It's the one who manages the hybrid mode. We can't force the electric mode, so there's no button for that. It's the car that's really going to manage itself. So there I'm going back to town. She started up a little bit. She recharged the batteries a little bit to be able to relaunch me a little bit in electric. And there, so it's the same, back to electric. Honestly, the hybrid for me is really the best compromise at this time. Toda again. There you have it. These seats are very comfortable and you feel well positioned in them. Very nice surprise. In any case, this new Texan Good will go for a little tour on the highway. See what it also gives on fast track. So we're going to see in acceleration here, I stay in eco mode. We still have 230 horses. We have a car that relaunches quite well. It goes quite high in the towers. So the level road holding here in turn. Good thing. So car, as I said, quite flexible, so it wanders a little bit. And if I accelerate again, then what we put, the power, we easily reach its 90 kilometers an hour. So the device, it's useful here to have all these driving aids. And there, I'm going to put the regulator. I have my blind spot, info in the retros, very practical. And there, if I fold back, I have the sound that warns me, beware of blind spots. So, hop, the automatic steering wheel. I have all my little sliders that are green, so the maintenance in the lines in green, the steering wheel in green. You have 90 kilometers an hour, and there, the car drives itself. I let myself do it, and that's really very, very pleasant these days. The same tell me if you watch my videos is that the driving aids you like. Or do you prefer to drive all the time? There is a little bit of rolling noise, but otherwise we have a very good soundproofing at the vehicle level. We really don't have any wind noise or other, and we take advantage of it quite well. There we are going to go to 110 kilometers an hour. The car always in eco mode, and well, it takes you there gently. Thanks to the regulator, you just have to change the value you want. And at 110 kilometers an hour, we start to have a little bit of wind noise around the cabin. In the end, it remains still very comfortable. So here I have the HTA mode with automatic driving when we are on the highway. So it does it. So here the 110 has 98, and the car will normally switch all by itself to 110 kilometers an hour. Ah, yes. So we will have the reading of the signs on the highway as soon as we are on the highway. The car will manage between 130, 110, 90. It will do that for you. So if we want to relaunch it, it will still go pretty well with 230 horses. And so here at 130 kilometers an hour, we start to have a little bit more wind noise. At the level of the roof, a little bit of the mirrors, in the end, it always remains rather comfortable, I think, with a little bit of road. We get used to it, but it's really not ridiculous. And the same, always very comfortable driving with the driving aids and seats on which we can really make a very long journey without worry there, the auto mode. It's that it had to switch to 90 signs, 70 beep. Each time a little beep, It means that it adapts and who knows the speed, and when we leave the highway, well, then it's up to you to go back to the authorized speed. It will only work on the highway. We also have a little sport mode. So here we have two modes, Eco or Sport. The Sport mode, it switches the counters with a carbon background and a little bit of red, and we'll see what it gives. So look, we have a little roundabout. So I like to test the road holding quite quickly in a roundabout. Like this. So here we feel that we have a slightly heavy vehicle, but it holds the road quite well, and on the change of support, so it wanders a little bit, and when I accelerate again, it's quite suitable, and there, right in it, we feel that there are horses anyway. It sends all the same really not bad 25 big braking then. We were on a slightly greasy road, but it braked really well. We have a very progressive pedal, and if we go back in the box but a little bit in it to react, but the car still takes you really well, we can also play with the paddles. So we have very little engine braking on these automatic boxes, and on the other hand, yeah, it picks up well. So in 3, yeah, it picks up well, good road holding. It always filters out very well the anomalies there. We have a gear change which is quite long, but in the end, frankly, it's quite correct. We have good performance, and by the way, let's test a little 0 to 100. So we are in sport mode. Let's go. It comes in its patina, a little 50. We are already at 100. It's still pretty fast. If you interest, I would put myself on the chain and well, and then I was not touching anything, the vehicle, and then I was not touching anything. The vehicle stopped just behind the other. And so it tells me use of the button or the pedal. So either more or to restart. So there, for example, Saturday vehicle advanced away the pedal, and the car leaves to follow the vehicle, the pedal, and the car leaves to follow the vehicle in front at the limitation that I asked him. So I managed on the highway to drive at 110 kilometers per hour with the electric mode, so that's a good thing. And the device always at 50. With the full electric mode, I have half the battery left, and the engine will inevitably reactivate at some point. So now I tell the car to accelerate again. It's a shame that it doesn't work on all automatic regulator panels. It only functions on the highway. It would have been a small bonus if it worked everywhere. So now the car has restarted the internal combustion engine. I didn't feel it at all. I didn't hear it at all. I've set the cruise control to 55.93 miles h, and the servo is engaged. So on a mixed consumption, if you don't do highway, we can turn around 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers by doing the road at 90-70. A little bit of city, 5.5 are achievable. However, on highway, then it's difficult if we don't do it. It can go up quite quickly. Since when the car does, it can go up quite quickly. Since when the car rolls, well, it recharges a little bit. The battery on my latest info, for example, it gives me an average at 6.7. So having done some 0 to 100, having done a little bit of highway of the 110, of the 130, 6.7 is what it put me on the 100 kilometers that I did recently. What she will love, this car, is precisely the small boost, the braking. So all these phases of regeneration for the batteries and being able to boost in electric mode, but in any case, it will not consume more than a gasoline version, that's for sure, and will always be this additional comfort and well to have this little electric mode, which will be even better than the micro hybridization 48 volts. Since this one micro hybridization, it will just add so battery recharge, this mini battery 48 volts when you are going to slow down and put you a big start and stop for the big boosts. You will help a little bit, but it will not work at all in full electric like this hybrid version, and there, and all in full electric like this hybrid version, and there, and that's very practical. So I would advise you in town to use the economic mode, since when we put ourselves in sport mode, well, the sport mode is still quite nervous. So at the phases of boost, etc., that's what we ask of it is a sport mode, but I would much prefer the eco mode for everyday driving. So we're going to park right here. So reverse, I of course have the backup cameras and the 360 cameras that will guide me. So as you can see here, so we have all the info, but we don't necessarily have the car that steers the best for maneuvers. So you will really have to anticipate all this just before. However, the cameras, in any case, the rear camera and the front camera, they are of very, very good quality and good parking. So what to think of this new Hyundai Tucson? I really appreciated the effort that has been made for everything, like these very well finished seats, the hybrid mode that works really well, the electric mode, so that we can certainly not activate or force, not like at Renault or at Renault. So it not like at Renault or at Renault. So it revs up to optimize the charging range. It makes less noise. It's still more pleasant. On this Tucson, frankly, the competition really has a lot of worries to make. Since here we are still on an aesthetic that is modern, that has the technologies aesthetic that is modern, that has the technologies that are needed, all the driving aids, frankly. Very comfortable. I'm not going to find big flaws. Then maybe it's little consumption on the highway, but otherwise comfortable, spacious, good habitability settings for the rear seats before this little gadget, the screen. So the beautiful touch screen here, all the driving aids, finally the USB sockets everywhere, heated seat, and its price levels. We are, well, one of the hybrids like that from about 42,000 euros. I find it really nice. So that's without the discounts that you are going to have at the dealer. And well, frankly, compared to a 3008 worried, there is frankly no reason to go to Peugeot or others. There is frankly no reason to go to Peugeot or others that I adore. The 3008, the advantage of the 3000 that I adore. The 3008, the advantage of 3008, frankly, it's maneuverability and a very, very good chassis there. I would not say that we have a bad chassis, but we have a car, so which wanders a little more, but which is a little more comfortable. So it also plays to really know what you want. But for a really quiet drive, well, this one will be super top. A little less agile, we'll have to take it back. Maybe a little more in the cramped places on the maneuvers, but otherwise comfort level, nothing to say. Driving level, and well, the same, very good way to drive it. It's pleasant, it's soft, and all the accomplished aids, frankly, very pleasant and easy to access. And with the automatic mode on the highway, that's what there is most often on the premium, very high end. So too bad that it is only on the highway, that we do not also have at the level of the panels the little gadgets like the mirrors at the level of the panels, the little gadgets like the mirrors that put the blind spots on the screen. Well, that's top camera, 360. Frankly, it has everything to please in any case. So on a beautiful level of finish like this one, I recommend 100%. Frankly, I have not good thing to tell him. Very, very good. You try. And well, I'm not disappointed in any case. You try. And well, I'm not disappointed in any case of this new Texan. There, I hope that the video will have pleased you. Do not hesitate to put a little blue thumb if you liked, to subscribe to the channel. We try everything on this channel, from the hybrid to the super sport